Denji and Power are out patrolling. Thirsting for blood, Power smacks Denji in the head, saying she needs to destroy something annoying him. Unable to find any devils, Power begins to boast, mentioning prior towards becoming a fiend, she was a fearsome devil that devils avoided from her mere scent.
Requesting backup at Nerima Station. It's the Sea Cucumber Devil.
I smell blood.
Excited from the smell, Power begins to run, preparing for battle. Power jumps down from the building and begins to form a hammer made out of blood.
I did it. The glory is mine.
As Makima arrives to the scene, she scolds both Denji and Power, telling Power she needs to think before she acts, and Denji needs to keep her in line. We then learn about Power's former life as the Blood Devil, using blood as her weapon of choice. However, if her excitement gets to the better of her, Makima may have to let her go. Frightened, Power then points her finger at Denji, blaming him for her actions. She tells her to be quiet, further frightening Power. Makima doesn't care who is at fault, but expects big things from them. Later, Power notices a cat and tells Denji she can only be friendly towards felines, saying hating humans is just instincts, but equally hates devils since they kidnapped her pet cat Meowie. She explains how Makima caught her before doing anything about Meowie, but implies she would do absolutely anything to get her back. Denji says he doesn't care for cats, but hints at the idea that he would do absolutely anything to touch some breasts. Power cuts him a deal. If Denji can rescue Meowie, she'll let him touch her boobs. Hearing that, Denji gets angry, appalled by the devil's actions for kidnapping Meowie, and decides to slaughter it. The rescue mission to save Meowie begins. Power knows where they can locate the devil, but informs Denji that only he would be able to fight it, because if the devil sees her, she'll use Meowie against her. Denji tells her about how he used to have a pet which luckily resides within him. However, Power finds this sentiment foolish, confirming Pochita is dead, annoying Denji. Elsewhere, Makima reports to her higher-ups, who informs her that other nations are using devils for military purposes. They ask her about her experimental squad, in which Makima replies is full of potential. They conclude the meeting reminding her to not become attached and to only use them for their intended purposes. Back in the car, Makima tells Aki how all devils are born with a name. The more that devil is feared, the more powerful the devil itself. For example, a coffee devil would be weak, but a car devil would be strong. She reveals that Denji can turn into a chainsaw devil. Although Aki finds this interesting, he mentions Denji's lack of conviction, not being fit to be in public safety. Elsewhere, Denji and Power finally arrive at a home on a small hill. As they get closer to the house, Denji wonders if Power should hide. Power slips up, confessing her story from earlier was fabricated. In that instant, Denji realizes something isn't right as he pulls out his axe, swinging it towards Power. Power knocks Denji unconscious and drags him towards the house. She hands Denji over to the Bat Devil, fulfilling their agreement. The Bat Devil grabs Denji, showing him his missing arm, and explains by consuming blood, he'll soon be able to heal. The Bat Devil smashes the roof to the house in search of more human blood to consume. Heavily injured, Denji recalls Aki's statement about befriending devils as Power looks onward, telling Denji how stupid he is for believing her story. The Bat Devil, looking afar at the nearest town, excited about his meal, is reminded by Power about their deal. However, as punishment for bringing disgusting blood, the Bat Devil decides to swallow Meowie. In disbelief, seeing Meowie eaten, Power turns to Denji and tells him how she can now relate feeling sympathetic towards losing a pet. The Bat Devil then picks her up and swallows her too. Displeased on how she tastes, he spreads his wings, setting his sight towards a nearby town to consume the blood of children. He glances down and notices that Denji is clinging on his leg and drinks his blood. Despite crushing Denji's body, he pulls his cord and turns into Chainsaw Man, slicing the Bat Devil. Denji manages to cut the Bat Devil's arm off as they quickly collapse onto a building. Denji shouts at a bystander to run away before she is eaten. Confused, the Bat Devil asks why he would help a human escape when Denji is a devil himself. Denji responds to split him open and punches him. The Bat Devil quickly gets back on his feet, grabs a car, and tosses it towards Denji. At that moment, Denji realizes he can retract his chainsaws and catches the car. He throws the car back at the Bat Devil, hitting him in the face. The Bat Devil uses his sonar ability against Denji and sends him flying through a building. Chainsaw Man appears from the rubble, determined to cop a feel, frightening the Bat Devil. He tries punching Denji as Denji glides up the Bat Devil's arms with his chainsaws, slicing him in the process. Denji, covered in a pool of blood and guts, has rescued both Power and Meowie. Power then asks Denji why did he save her. He responds by pointing towards her chest and makes a squeezing gesture, at which she remarks is a silly reason, but will allow him to anyway. Celebrating, Denji raises his arm until it's cut off by the Leech Devil, who appears before him. Worried, Denji asks Power if she's able to move, but is unable to. Denji decides to fight, but due to a lack of blood, is not able to transform into Chainsaw Man. The Leech Devil confronts Denji on killing her boyfriend, but upon a closer look, comments on Denji's attractiveness, allowing him to live, but will kill Power and Meowie. Upon which Denji prepares to battle the Leech Devil. The two begin battling, with the Leech Devil easily overpowering Denji. Surprised at how her boyfriend lost to such a weakling, she tells Denji the dream that the Bat Devil and she shared together, eating all of the humans despite it being impossible, yet was beautiful. Denji, adamant on remaining alive until he cops a feel, is further insulted by the Leech Devil, calling his dream ridiculous. Angered, Denji challenges the Leech Devil to a dream battle, meaning the person who wins the battle has a better dream. Denji manages to land an attack on the Leech Devil, but gets impaled through the stomach. The Leech Devil opens its mouth, preparing to devour Denji until Aki arrives in time, summoning the Fox Devil, which bites the Leech Devil and eats it. Denji looks up and notices Aki arriving with a squad of devil hunters. Himeno is tasked to keep a watch on devils, while the newbies are tasked with evacuating survivors. Denji and Power are taken for medical treatment and questioning. Denji wakes up in a hospital bed and sees Aki. He tells him how his arm reattached via blood transfusion, but more importantly, learns how devil hunters combat devils by forming contract with other devils. Aki has a contract with the Fox Devil. In exchange for using the Fox's powers, Aki offers him a part of his body. Finally, he tells Denji since there were no casualties during the incident, he'll decide to overlook the situation on the condition that Denji must obey Aki's commands. Denji agrees as Aki walks out of the room. Outside of the room, Power is seen wearing handcuffs with Himeno. Power, claiming to be innocent, demands to be uncuffed, but Himeno advises against it. Still, Aki frees Power and says devil hunters should take advantage of every tool at their disposal, adding he has no intention on getting friendly with Power. Later on,
What a cramped home you have.
Power barges into Aki's and Denji's apartment, shocking the two of them. Aki calls Makima, asking why, and she responds by saying she trusts him more than anyone, causing Aki to blush and agree. After the call, Power is seen revolted by the vegetables in front of her, slinging them across the room. Soon after, several instances of Power being a horrible roommate are revealed, such as not flushing the toilet and refusing to shower. Annoyed, Denji is seen cleaning the bathroom until Power walks in. Power reminds Denji about their agreement, swiftly changing Denji's mood, even calling her an angel. Power tells Denji he gets 3 squeezes. Denji begins to squeeze.
Okay, it's over.
Denji is left speechless, but not in a good way, feeling disappointed and unfulfilled. The following day, Denji is seen doing paperwork with Makima, who notices something is off with him. Denji reveals he finally accomplished his dreams, but wonders if he was happier in the pursuit of the dream than actually attaining it. Makima then grabs Denji's arm, telling him naughty things feel better the more you know your partner. As she explains, she touches his hand, then makes him touch her ear, and proceeds to bite his fingers, and places his hand on her chest. Denji then blushes and falls down because, wouldn't you? She asks Denji for a favor to defeat the all-powerful Gun Devil, whose current whereabouts is unknown, concluding that if he can defeat it, she'll grant him any one wish. To see how Denji reacts to Makima's proposal, click here. The next story arc is the Eternity Devil.